Now recording.
All right. Welcome to Now Recording. I'm Matt Pitt. With me today is Mr. Mitch.
Hello.
Core Master.
I don't know why I'm here.
D-Max.
I know why you're here, Core.
And also with us, a very, how should I put this? She's very precise.
Ordinary.
When it comes...
Oh,
she's very,
damn it.
She's very knowledgeable when it comes to Kristen Weston Chandler. We have Dojangles.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
Something to be proud of.
Exactly. If I put a gun to your head, right, and I said you have to tell me all about Chris Chan in like 3 sentences, what would you say?
Oh my! In 3 sentences.
3 sentences. Yeah.
The most well documented person in history, and I have 3 sentences.
Yes.
I thought that was the first sentence.
Yeah, I thought that was it. I was gonna say, like, that's actually pretty
There you go. You can't because like no meme on that. Like there is nobody more well documented than Chris Chan, because Chris Chan's been doing on camera stuff since like the 90s. Like he's been talking to camera since the 90s. He did the very first Let's Play.
I was about to say that. I heard. That's what I heard.
Invented the Let's Play. Like this guy it's insane. And
was
you
he playing a Sonic game?
No, he's playing.
He was playing Animal Crossing. It was Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay. Which one would it be of that? Would it be the GameCube one? I guess.
Yes, the original.
I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boss.
Yeah, he would like upload them or something to somewhere, to whatever website, and people would watch it.
Yeah.
You guys know that Star Trek movie where they go back in time and meet the guy who invented the warp drive, and in the future he's like really like, oh my god, he invented the warp drive, he must be so amazing. Turns out he's just some bum that wanted money. You imagine people coming back from the future to find the like, oh, it's Chris Chan, the first Let's Player. Yeah. He created Let's Players. Oh my god. What? He did what?
He's just smelling his fingers.
It's the same thing.
It's like, oh my god.
It's really, really interesting because as far as he's concerned, I'm saying he. Okay, like I
wanted to ask that because you said Kristen Weston Chandler before, but like, is it Christine? Like
Christine?
Is it
legally,
Christine.
legally, it is Christine Weston Chandler.
Okay. I've always been confused by that. I wasn't sure if it was
legally, he did change her name and her sex on her Virginia driver's license.
Got it.
And that's part of the reason why
Quickville license. Quickville.
Exactly. There you go. Like, but the mayor doesn't need a license, okay? But
no.
Yeah.
At the same time, that's why the case got so complicated in Virginia. Like the state of Virginia had no fucking clue what to do with this whole entire thing. And I think a lot of it is regarding, the identification, like gender identification. So
right.
It was really interesting because, like, in a state like Virginia, like they don't know what to do, and
well, so wait, where to put Christian? I'm sorry, I'm just confused. Like, what do you mean?
In this video, Chris is actually going to say what I've been saying for over a year, and when we get to it, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
is it that there was no sexual relations?
No, definitely not that. I do have a couple of have a couple of theories on that. Whether they're true or not, some of them are just straight up tinfoil, and some of them are just, depending on like with his autism and things like that, and things that are beyond the autism. I have a couple of schools of thought on that. So when we get to those parts, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I know that Tommy believes that he was tricked. That's what Tommy believes.
I think that's
tricked into saying that he did it when he didn't.
I think it's a strong possibility.
Like he wanted to be cool.
Yeah,
and he's not around any women.
Yeah, dude,
so
I totally watched my mom, guys. Like, another day.
Well, because like Christian, I mean, he's a little. Christian's a little wacky, but like I don't think I never saw that coming. You know what I mean?
I don't think anyone did.
There's a lot.
That's what I mean.
Like if you do know a lot of Chris's history, like going back to childhood, of Chris talking about their childhood, there's a lot with that. There's a lot of moving parts, especially when it comes to things like his childhood. So, it just kind of there's a lot. So when we get to certain parts, like if you want me to just kind of like I can explain. There's a lot that I can explain. There's a lot that I can explain.
Yeah.
So
Another question I want to ask you: Geno Samuel, is he doing God's work or is he going overboard with his series?
He is doing God's work.
Okay, because sometimes I'm like, geez, bro, like you've been doing this for years now, and
I want him to. Did you see his? Did you see the April Fools?
I stopped at episode like 40 or something. I couldn't do it anymore.
This past year, he did an April Fools.
Oh yeah,
and it was a video of basically like Chris getting out and getting their life together, and that's where he ends it. And it's just so bizarre. Like he uses a lot of AI. Like there's like an AI like apology of like taking ownership to all the bad behavior and everything through the years and being irresponsible. It's absolutely totally insane. So I mean, I don't get bored with it because sometimes it might get a little slow, and I think especially when we start getting up to the last couple of years, it might be a little slow because there's not much that's really known about, you know, what Chris was doing while in prison, unless Chris elaborates. But when you're going through the timeline, like there are parts where it kind of slows down, where Geno kind of has to really focus in on really like obscure drama, you know? So, that's the original. That's the original medallion, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not the original. It's the second. The original was.
Yeah, the original got stolen, didn't it?
Well,
Like he got tricked into sending it to someone.
No.
I heard that was made in prison. That's why.
No, that's the one. No. That's the one that that was made before prison.
Okay.
That's the one. That's actually the second one. Do you want me to tell you what happened to the first one?
I think I remember.
I think I know, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Chris was coerced by trolls to cut it up into pieces and shove it up his ass, and Chris did that.
Yep.
So
see, this is why I think
Tommy. Well, that's when me and Tommy were talking about that when I had him on my podcast last week. It's not a far-fetched thing, and he is right on to something there, that he is easily coerced into saying things.
Yes.
And it's not a far-fetched thing to think like it never happened.
How many quote-unquote girlfriends has he had? You know, when he was
we've
Chris.
had Julie, we've had I mean, the list goes on and on of how many like troll, but I mean, Chris has like a real girlfriend now. Can you believe it?
Yeah, going back to the thing, shoving the emblem up his of hers ass or whatever. What there was, I don't know if it was during. I don't think it was during that, but it was some part where like that one of the really young trolls that was very well known during that time was like, yeah, now do this, yeah, now do that, now light your house on fire, and everyone's like, whoa, like all the trolls are like,
everybody in that call immediately shut him down. Because they were getting amped up. So it's like, I think Chris obviously has always had the limits, even though Chris is very much autistic, and I think it goes beyond autism. Because early on, Chris had talked about being in the special needs school. And back then, they treated autism a lot differently than they treat it now. I mean, that's been like Chris's 41 or 42.
That's wild to think about.
Yeah.
So, okay, Chris is 41 or 42. So when Chris was a child and, you know, early diagnosed with the autism, I mean, this is like over 30 years ago. So they were treating it a lot differently back then. So Chris had talked about being abused and, you know, talking about even sexual abuse that happened while he was in that school. So when you take that autism and then you take, you know, maybe some abuse and also some, you know, his dad was older and both of his parents were actually older when they got married and they were starting all over again. So you have Barb and Bob who they're tired. It's hard to raise an autistic child. It's much easier just to buy him shit to keep him occupied. And when Chris went to his senior prom with some of his gal pals that his dad had actually paid them to be nice to him in high school. Barb actually went to the prom. And he had told one of his friends in a recording, in a call, you know, my mom gets a little jealous So maybe mom was if it did happen, then mom was asking for it. Let's be honest.
What was she wearing at the time? These are the questions we need answered.
She was wearing that pearl necklace with that little nightgown, and she was
I'm sure she had a pearl necklace on at some point.
I'm sure. Oh god.
This is just like high school.
Oh no, that's so messed up. That's so
Dad didn't pay her.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Jeez, man.
So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. So this video is actually, it really. I did stop it like a bunch of times and like process a couple of things. Like the first time I saw it, I've only watched it through like twice. So it'd be interesting to see again if I catch anything else.
How long have you been like focused on the history of Christian?
The very first time that I ever heard about Christian was probably like around 2007. 2007-ish.
Wow, so you go way back.
Yeah, so it's like, you would kind of follow along what was going on, and then you would, it would fall off for like a while. So it's just been kind of like back and forth, but it goes way back to that. So just the fact that, if you told 2007 me that I would still be following in 2023, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's actually insane.
Are you autistic? I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
I could be. You know what? That's not far-fetched. I very well.
What are your feelings on Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu?
Yeah. You know what? I'm really not all that into it, so I think I actually may not be there.
Yeah, that's the Turing test for autism.
Do you like trains?
Do you like trains?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, well, there you go. Then that's your autistic tell.
We won't talk about the trains.
Yeah.
What are you, Keffels? What are you, Keffels? Are you going to take a date out to like an autistic date? What did she say? What did Keffels say? Something about she'll take like, she likes to take autism girls to fucking trains because then she can fuck them or something. I don't remember. I just remember that. I was like, is that a train?
I feel like if Beavers were here, he'd be like, based.
Yeah. By the way, we were all talking about the pronouns here. Someone who is a stickler for the Christian pronouns is Tipster.
Tipster literally fuck Tipster.
I was gonna say, why haven't we brought Jen on earlier for fuck Tipster episodes?
Tipster,
that's another person you know.
I think there was somewhat of an embarrassment to bring her on because she showed us the way and we didn't go. We turned our back on her.
Is that why? Is that
yeah, we turned our back on her and we followed the tipster.
Everybody did
the whole time.
But I'll tell you what, I know Mitch was always on my side, so he's absolved like 100%.
Me too.
What the fuck? No way. Mitch was always worried about his tipster follow, bro.
No, I wasn't.
You traitor.
No. Do not.
You traitor.
I missed it. I was like, how the fuck is he not unfollowing me?
Tipster still likes you.
Why?
Oh man!
Because he doesn't pay attention.
You know what? Actually, I'm having a bad internet connection. I might need to go.
Oh no! Before we watch the
Tipster
video,
gets us again. No. All right, but before we Tipster Dojangles out, how about we just press play?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Hey everyone, Jesus Christy Western Channel Sanchi Prime here, and right now I'm gonna set the record straight. So just so y'all know, straightforward and blunt, to the point. The reason I went to jail, the charge I was charged with, I was innocent. There never, ever, 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 ever was any sense between Barbara and I. Period.
I did not have
this is
sexual
the apology video
with
ever.
my mother.
The facial expressions Christian make it feel like he has a puppeteer and he's like a Muppet. You know what I mean? Like just the way he moves his face is so peculiar. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's true.
It is.
This was kind of like the internet's 9/11. Like everyone just remembers where they were and how they found it.
When I got the notification for this, I was like, "Oh my!" Well, actually, I have two people on notifications on Twitter, and I put Chris Chan on notifications a long time ago because Probably about a month ago, Chris was liking tweets again, but not tweeting. And I was like, I need to hit this because I need to know.
As soon as it happens.
I need to know the first one I did. So it's like I hit that, and when I saw that, I just was like, the floodgates are opening, and I expected to upload, but I didn't expect it so fast. And now Chris is just spamming upload nonsense. But this was like almost like Christmas for me in a way. Like, let's go.
Oh yeah. Do you remember where you were when you found out that he may have fucked his mom?
What's funny about that is it was probably maybe like a couple of months after I finally got my own medallion from Chris.
I think I remember you tweeting that.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, wow. So it's like that happened, and then as soon as that happened,
well, I didn't know because Chris had their Etsy shop closed for like months, like forever.
Can't sell anything.
It opened. Yes, I did.
Busy.
Okay, so this is what happened. It opened up again. Belle Delphine messaged me and said, "Hey, Chris's shop is open again." And I was like, "Get the fuck out," because we've been talking about trying to get one. And I said, "Get the fuck out." Yeah, we did. We did the girl shut up. And so I ordered one. He ordered one. I got mine first because I was in the US. She got hers because she's all the way out in the UK. So it took longer. And Chris, mine looks like a standard Sonichu medallion. Hers looks like it's on meth for some reason. She said to me, she was like, "Why does mine look like it's on meth?" And he didn't make any certificates.
Yeah, I wish he had like a serial number so you can know what batch you had.
Used to do No. Chris actually used to do handwritten stuff.
That's so based.
And doing that. Now I have an envelope. The only thing that I have with Chris's writing is an envelope with my name and address on it.
Wow.
So that's cool. That's having something in Chris's
basically
writing
an autograph.
It's pretty cool. Like, I think it's pretty cool. So a lot of people were telling me you should donate your medallion to sexual assault victims. And I was like, but why should I do that? We don't even know if it actually, we don't know what went down.
How would you do that? How would you donate a medallion to sexual?
There was a couple of people. You remember when when Chris was making the fucking amiibos? Like Chris was making like Sonichu amiibos and shit.
Okay.
And somebody
they look like they look like
they
smell.
Do they work?
Yeah.
Would you put them on the Nintendo?
No, I think that they do.
It just corrupts your file.
I think that they're actual like amiibos that like Chris like repurposed. And people were selling those and then giving it away to charity. And I had a couple people pressure me, and I was like, "Fuck the fuck no! I'm sorry. It's not that I don't care about sexual assault victims.
Right.
It's like
this is
historic. And if Chris goes to jail forever, there may never, because I might have gotten some of the last batch of medallions."
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to ask. Do you think that you had one of the last ones that he did right before he did what he did with his?
I think I might have had one of the last batches because.
Well, that's it.
Maybe he was in the middle of making it, and then put it down, had a break, and then returned to making it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I know that you know a lot about the lore. Does Chris Chan wash their hands, or like how does that work?
When I handle the medallion,
I think what D-Max is trying to say is, what did it smell like?
I'm just saying,
okay, I always wash my hands. After I pass,
you treat it like uranium. You put on a full suit.
Exactly. No, seriously.
Use tongs.
It's like a Chernobyl after effect.
I handle it as little as possible.
Yeah.
I did take a little like a black light to it. It's okay.
Just to see what it's got.
Wait. Okay. Why would you do that to yourself? Like, ignorance is bliss. What if you found like a new fucking
it's not ignorance.
element?
It's Chris. Now, Chris actually...
Ignorance is Chris.
According to Gamer from Mars, because I did ask him, because he did, that documentary, actually right before like Chris, like this came out. So like he didn't even know what to do with it for a little bit. I did ask him, what did Chris smell like? And he goes, Chris really didn't smell like bad themselves. It's just the house really reeked of like pet urine, and it was just really 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 gross.
God.
So surprisingly Chris actually didn't stink. So there you go, there you have it. So there might be some hygiene going on with Chris.
Yeah, I was just hoping that there was a little bit of DNA on one of these medallions in case we ever get cloning technology. I'm just saying. Like,
Well,
Muda
told me there might be Barbosi juice on it.
There you go.
From his hand.
Oh
there you
God.
go.
Well, I was gonna say I have a story about where I was when I found out that Chris fucked his mom. I woke up late, had no idea what was going on. Shot for the Point was about to start, so I was like, "Oh shit, this is I'm late for Shot for the Point. I got to get in there." It's Tommy and Verse in there. I get in there, and Tommy comes in. He's like, "Oh, good, you're here. Look, Christian just fucked his mom, and we're gonna go live in 5."
Oh my God!
Wow. See, that's a good way to find out. Just fucking one hit, one sentence. Chris Chan fucked his mom.
Yeah.
I remember I was at this girl's house. I woke up, and because of the time difference, it had been going on overnight, my time, everyone making memes. And so I found out slowly there was memes about Chris Chan having sex. Oh, Chris Chan got laid, blah, blah, blah. And then there were some other people said, I hope Barbara's okay. And then I was like, wait, what? And then I pieced it together slowly, and then I went, oh my God. And then the girl whose house I'd stayed at, not an internet person at all. And they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like,
Chris
how much time you got? Like,
you cannot explain that to somebody that doesn't know. There's just no way possible. This is why outside like the internet, I don't let anybody know about like all this fucking autism, because there's no way that I can explain it without looking like a complete insane person.
Listen,
because people go, why do you spend time with that?
I was gonna, you think there'll ever be like a Netflix series based on?
No,
Chris Chan?
I think
I thought about whether it's either going to be a Netflix series or some indie fucking thing is going to do like a movie.
I want like a job style movie, but about Chris Chan.
I do too.
You know what I mean? That'd be so epic.
I don't know. I think I want the Making a Murderer type Netflix show, but it's like
no, because they're gonna steal a lot. They're gonna steal a lot from Gino.
Yeah, but that well, that's true. Netflix tends to not pay people, right? Like
they need to pay. They need to pay people. They need to pay people because they'll be like, oh, we'll give you a producer credit, but then they're not going to pay people. So I want to see Gino get paid. Like he's put in the blood, sweat, and tears for years. So
no, that's a good point.
Sonichu, Oedipus Chu. There's something there.
Who could play Christine Chandler?
Ryan Gosling.
Mitch.
Oh, Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
I was thinking Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
I'd get Philip Seymour Hoffman if he was alive.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
In a wig.
Yeah, that would actually be the faces. The face is like there, like he could do it.
What if John Candy were still alive?
He'd do it.
Too big.
He'd do Austin.
Too big.
I know, but that'd just be silly to look at. It'd just be funny. It'd be like an SNL
still
skit.
Can't believe. I'm sure people were afraid. Like, God, I hope Christian doesn't like smother his mother in her sleep or something. No, instead he had sex with her.
He just
allegedly. Now that he said that he was found innocent, I think the state we can't look at the records, but I think the state of Virginia just kind of dropped the case.
It was the first time ever a judge just went, "Fuck it, I don't know."
Yeah, I
bangs the gavel. It's just like that's it. That's all I got.
He sat for like 2 years without like a trial. You know, at some point you have to fucking take it to trial and do something.
Violation.
It is. So they dropped it and just said, time served, you're done, get the fuck out of here. It wasn't that he was innocent. It was just like, I think it was just like a time served kind of thing. Yeah.
Huh. Based.
Not innocent, but not guilty.
Yeah. Let's see what else Christine has to say.
Was innocent. I have a few bullet points to go through anyway. Where did we go to end up here? So obviously we got all the haters and fakers and the toxic sinners that tried to manipulate me and so much.
I'm sorry, not to pause again, but Chris Chan's God, right? Is that's what's happened?
No, Jesus.
Well, Jesus. I mean, to Christians, Jesus is God, right? So like, I mean, is that? Can somebody explain that to me? I don't think I.
What do you mean?
Like Chris Chan thinks Christian's
they're a
Jesus?
holy being.
No, okay, so I'll explain that. Christian was a name that was his name was changed to Christian. Do you know how?
No.
His name was he was born Christopher. When he was like 5 years old, he was at the mall. This animatronic bear was somebody doing like the voice on, on a microphone, like hidden somewhere, misunderstood that. And they asked like, "Oh, little boy, what's your name?" And he said, Christopher. And he thought they meant Christian. And he was like so touched by that his parents actually legally changed his name to Christian Weston Chandler.
And then the man in the suit turned out to be Purple Guy from Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my God!
That would actually be based. It's coming out like it's coming out
really
this weekend. Let's fucking go! But like,
let's go. Sorry.
But Chris, like probably like 2 or 3 years ago, supposedly Sonichu is in Chris's body, taken over Chris's body, and Chris is supposedly out to the other fucking dimension. This happened like 3 years ago. So Sonichu is inside Christine. Okay. So technically, I always said
Sonichu who fucked his mom. Allegedly.
Exactly. Wow. I said literally the defense can just say, you know what? It was Sonichu. It was Christine somewhere else. It's Sonichu.
Do you think it was Quick?
Quickville.
If it happened, I mean, they don't call it Quickville for no reason.
Yeah, that puts a quickie in a different term.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm sure it was very shocking as well.
Want to take a quickie at Quickville?
Oh God, all right.
Just that's a mess of good grief right there. Why did y'all have to do that? You all really erroneously misunderstood.
I'm sorry, Chris Chan.
And
his vocabulary has
mess
improved.
Up. I mean, shoot.
Even looks like he's on SSRI.
Smutfit.
Yeah, I was gonna say. He's kind of slurring his words a bit.
He's a little more. Like he gets a little less docile like as the video kind of progresses, but I immediately thought SSRIs, and I just want to give you a little background. I'm a nurse, so I know when somebody's on it a little bit, and he definitely kind of has like a little bit of that. That's going on, like for sure.
Oh yeah,
you know?
he's definitely medicated.
Yeah, you can tell he's spaced out.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I definitely agree. Because Tommy was like, "Do you think he's on drugs?" And I was like, "I think he's medicated."
He's medicated.
That's what
I think that might be part of like why he gets to go home. Like you have to be medicated, but we don't know. We don't have the docs. So.
Yeah, I know. Is he back? Oh, so is he back at his house or is he somewhere else?
Chris is at home. I think before Chris was allowed to go home, like a few months ago when Chris was seeing, Nintendo Online, playing all the games that came, all the fucking Pokemon games and shit that came out, and the Sonic games that came out while Chris was like locked up,
incarcerated.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on where people are like, "There's movement. What the hell?" But I don't think that Chris was kind of like allowed to kind of go online. There was speculation that Chris was in like a halfway house, but we don't know that for sure. And then maybe like a week or two after everybody saw the movement online, they saw Chris's car at the house in the driveway. Now, a couple of months before, like maybe like a year ago, it was said that Barb was at a nursing facility or at an assisted living, but then there were rumors that people were seeing her driving around town. So that was muddy. So supposedly Barb is at home and Chris is at home, and it's just going back to normal. So.
Oh, Barb's with Chris now?
Supposedly, yeah, but Barb's at home.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's the rumor. We don't. It's not confirmed though, so we don't know. I guess we'll have to. Enough. Time will tell. We'll know.
Be careful, Barb.
Watch your back.
I know some of you are the minority that are the worst. Out of the majority being actually good. Okay. You are the minority. You've written those smut fan fictions. You shipped me with Barb.
Haven't you too? Like, what do you mean? You can't.
Well, what he's implying is that this was a methodical approach by the trolls to get him to be convinced that he fucked Barb.
And you know what? I forgot too. If this is Sonichu speaking, I guess Sonichu just lived that life. Didn't really write those fanfics. You know what I mean?
Took that lifestyle. There was fan fiction before? There's fan fiction between him and Barb at one point.
Not like that. No. It was just more. It was
okay.
It was just like really degenerate. Like there was correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I understand it is that the Sonichu comic that Chris Chan was making was influenced by a lot of people who were saying it would be funny if it got like more sexualized. So it ended up getting very sexualized, and Chris Chan was a self-insert in the story as well. And would have sex with like Rose Chu or whatever that character is, and you know. So I'm just saying, like,
supposedly they
like
because Chris Chan is mother, used to be father, and is now mother, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Supposedly Chris Chan had sex. I've seen had sex with Sonichu in the comic. So that would make it like if
that is
she's
incest,
mother,
though, right?
then he's son.
So that so it still is incest. Damn.
Yeah, there you go. So technically, it's incest.
I'm trying, Chris Chan. I'm trying to save you.
Barbara, you shipped me with that Snorlax.
Okay, so I pause. Why did he call his mother a Snorlax?
Okay, back in the day, Barb used to be very much overweight. And there was a picture that Chris posted years and years and years ago of his mom Barb is sleeping on a recliner.
Mm-hmm.
And he posted it and everybody called her Snorlax. And that just stuck. So Barb will always be Snorlax, even though she's like little tiny and not like, 350 pounds, because Barb was very, very big at that time.
I just need to check. Matt, you know Snorlax is a Pokemon, right? It's a big fat Pokemon.
Yes, I know.
Right.
I know.
Just making sure.
Just making sure.
I was just wondering why he would call. It sounded like he was like, you shit me with that bitch. You shit me with that Snorlax.
It's very the way that now Chris has always like kind of talked like through their nose, like has like this very nasally, like almost talking through their nose. But I do feel like Chris is like it is slightly slurring, like when it's not,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Gotcha.
Autism.
And I've seen worse shit. And Barbara was definitely not the perfect mother with me. There was not the perfect mother-daughter relationship there, period. Just growing up, there was the times of abuse, even though there was love and caring in there and throughout. But that was a whole different kettle of fish right there. But yeah, the bullying, the terrorizing, and all that, they really fucked me up. I feel so... Just enough said right there.
What?
But hey, you're never gonna make me...
Do you feel so much better? Do you feel like I thought it was gonna be like better, and then the SSRIs kicked in.
404 file not fucking found.
Yeah, it was 404. Exactly. All right.
The lawyer inside him was like, "Nope, shut up, man."
Yeah, exactly. No, it was like I was wondering, like, it. So, do we know if Chris Chan's editing?
Sometimes Chris talks and Chris doesn't know exactly where they're going. That's kind of common, though.
Yeah, it's understandable.
And that was the attention that Bella had in all her chopped and screwed up recordings.
Okay, so
all the attention and manipulating me into that.
So Kristen has brought it up. He's talking about
Isabelle Janke. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to just quick summarize, like, who is Isabella Janke?
Isabelle Janke was one of the ladder trolls, and they were kind of trying to. Wouldn't it be funny if Chris fucked Barb, and and basically trying to chorus Chris to end themselves. So some pretty evil shit.
Fun troll.
Like Isabelle Janke did some pretty evil shit. Now, one of the things that with Chris is that all the trolling and all the different trolls that Chris has had for years, like that's got to be tormenting to a person. That's got to fuck with your psyche in so many ways.
Well, you're talking about it's somebody with already like a not a very good grasp of like social interactions. So it's like now it's like you have to factor in, can I trust the person that I'm talking to when you're already sort of set up to be a naive person?
Like, Chris keeps trusting people. Now, he had gotten a little bit more blocked off, like in the later years, like because I had a friend who had her on a podcast, their podcast, To Create Unknown, and the way that they were trying to get her on. Number one, they had to pay her because Chris is not going to do anything for free. There are Transformers to buy. There's My Little Pony to buy. Not for free. And second, like they had to go through like 3 or 4 people just to get to Chris. And it had to be like a, is this going to be trolling? Is this going to be mocking?
He had like an inner circle, right?
He did have like 3 different people that they actually had to go through. And those are people that I believe that are super big, like the Quickville people that after they had the fire, because there was a fire, him and Barb did have that house fire.
Yeah.
And there were people sending them like grocery store gift cards and care packages and all this shit. And it was Quickville people. Actually, those Quickville people are I'm pretty convinced that it's a bunch of those people that gathered their money and posted the bond for Chris, because where the fuck was that money coming from? Who was actually going to post the bond for Chris? So I think it was Quickville people. So that went off on a tangent. So
Isabella Janke basically was able to get into that inner circle with Chris, talk to him on the phone, and recorded the conversation, which he apparently admitted to having
recorded many conversations. So, but you didn't get all the conversations. So it's like, what happened kind of before that? We don't know. So it was just like, so
how many times did Chris say no?
How's things going with you and Barb? So like you and Barb have been like a thing, right? Like you and Barb have been a thing. You guys have been doing stuff, right? Like, so you have sex, and then Chris was like, the answers are a little like, they're a little scattered, I think. But there is like the very strong possibility that Chris was just trying to go along with it and sound cool. That could have definitely been a thing. We don't know. So Isabel, not a nice person.
Is Isabel the hamster girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. She's the one. She the big titty girl.
Yeah, with the glasses.
That's the best way I can describe her.
So like basically what ended up happening is the call gets leaked, all this stuff started popping up, but it turns out that the community was more and became more enthralled, less enthralled with Christian, more enthralled with Isabella Janke, and she basically became a locale within her own right. People started investigating her. They found these Discord servers. Now all of this is alleged. I don't know for sure if it's actually true or not, but allegedly she was like boiling hamsters and had this weird fetish, weird fetishes and all this.
Can you imagine the screams?
Yeah.
There's like a thing where people, I'm not 100% sure that was actually true, because there was a lot of trollish shit that she did say too. Yeah. So it's hard to tell. It's honestly hard to tell. But I really think like she knew that she could kind of coerce, an autistic person. And no, don't get me wrong. Chris is autistic, but Chris is not the greatest person themselves anyway. They're very, very selfish. They're really, really bad with money, but then again, they're autistic. So it's just kind of on both sides, but then again, they were fucked with for many years, but
right.
Isabel,
that's what I'm saying. Like being a little selfish after that maybe makes a little sense.
It's hard to tell, but Isabel, with some of that stuff, there's actually some evidence to suggest that, she was doing a lot of trolling. She was just doing a little bit of trolling when she said certain things where people were like, oh, well, she did this, she did that. Well, she could have been trolling. She was a Christian troll, like, after all. So you kind of have to like sometimes take some of the things and some of the allegations against her with a grain of salt. But we do know that there was a lot of coercion there, so she was trying to get Chris to do something extreme. That was very apparent.
Right.
But hey, I foreknew she was going to do that. I tested her. At the time, I treated her like, just as a friend to try to get her to be on the good side. But obviously she failed. Just like I foreknew the relationship between Dylan and Taylor, that was not going to last. He abused her. Whoa. I gave her support on that live stream when I went on there.
The fear of God.
Do you know who's Dylan and Taylor is? Do you know anything about this Dylan and Taylor?
This is something that I don't know a whole lot about. And I haven't looked into it. This isn't something that I haven't looked a lot about. And I think these are people that were probably involved in that server where some of these calls took place. So I have to look into them a little bit more.
Fair enough.
support and kindness, because I appreciated her as an artist and an individual, which was more than I could say for Dylan at the time. But yeah, Bella was going to actually record me and Fifi having done something at the hotel had I actually made it to BabsCon. But fortunately, that didn't quite happen.
No, it didn't.
Was Fifi
one way or another, she was.
Was Fifi the other autistic they were trying to ship him with? I remember they were talking.
Yes,
okay,
yes, that was Fifi.
Okay, got it. Yeah, okay. There you go. So there was like another autistic Chris Chan fan who was kind of like a female Chris Chan, and they were trying to ship them together.
Not quite as bad as Chris. There's not a lot of people quite as bad as Chris, but definitely heavy on the spectrum.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that would work because, I feel like if you just put Chris Chan with if you were to clone Chris Chan, but alter gender, I don't think that Chris Chan would want to. I don't think that would be a proper pairing.
Chris Chan doesn't want to be with somebody who is autistic. That's
what I'm saying. It's because I feel like Chris Chan has to have it more about them, right? And I feel like another autistic person would be taking a little bit of that.
Right, because Chris hates being autistic. Chris is one of those that hits his head and goes, "My stupid autistic brain. I hate my brain."
Yeah.
Chris doesn't want somebody on the spectrum at all. He's said that many times. I keep saying I don't give a shit. This is just how this is. Hard. Yeah. It's really, really hard. I'm trying, but Chris has pretty much said that they don't want anybody on the spectrum. They've been saying that since they've been doing their love quest since 2002. So they
unfortunately for Chris, anyone out of the spectrum who were to date him would probably be a possible crime at this point.
That's it ain't good. But then Chris is sneaky too, and Chris can be very smart about when Chris wants something. It's amazing how quick Chris can just flip that switch to I hate my autistic brain, but kind of need some money. We got bills, and then won't pay the bills. We'll go on eBay and buy some shit, or buy shit to go to a fucking Brody con or something. Chris is very slick when it comes to getting people to pay her. So there's that part too.
But she's also bad with money, right?
Not yet.
Those
Mitch.
who are also
Not yet. Mitch.
Fiction narrator.
Are you implying that Christine Chandler would be frivolous with spending? What?
Yes, Chris Chan would definitely support our highest tier membership.
Those who are also frivolous with money.
I was just trying to piss Matt off. I was just trying to piss Matt off.
We have a tier called Bad with Money, and we say the names at the end of the episode. So I DM'd Mitch while this was going on. I was like, have the Bad with Money ready for the end. And so he's just doing this. Good job. Thank you, Mitch. Thanks.
No, that was...
It triggers
there's nothing
me
to say
every
we
time.
can't. There's nothing to say we can't do it in the middle of an episode. Really? Well, that's fine.
Because that was going to be my joke, was that because I know that they're bad with money, and then Gojan brought it up early, and I was like, all right, here we go.
Now you're gonna have to wait.
And you should have told me. I would have waited. I didn't know that was a thing.
Bring that part of it. Yeah. I don't know. Movie magic, maybe.
It got me into jail or tried to get me to commit suicide on the whole different day. But hey, she failed. She didn't do that. I took the initiative in my own hands. So I let divine intervention and timing and everything just let me go to jail, spend my time suffering and spending the time for your sins, you fucking toxic ones.
Nice. Thank you for absolving me of sin. Appreciate it.
I meditated and learned everything. I am Jesus Christ reincarnated. I am the avatar.
Jesus Christ, hell yeah!
This is like he's in a trance. I am the one. I am Jesus Christ incarnated. I am the. I'm waiting for him to speak Latin. Just start.
That'd be awesome. What if he did? He's just like "E pluribus uda si vis pace parabellum," like I don't know, just going off on fucking random Latin phrases.
Ave dui tembella, give me the power.
Exactly.
Lady fromage.
Nice.
I see that there is nothing but good and righteousness and light-powered individuals, and encouraging all the neutrals to be good. Period. Just like I'm trying to do in this video and statement right now, setting the record straight. But I was proven innocent, And they couldn't place me anywhere, which is why they kept me in jail for so long, because they didn't know what to do with me. They didn't know what to do with somebody was freaking autistic that you weren't putting your words in. Ish. They didn't know what to do. They just kept me in jail. They didn't know where to place me. But fortunately, they did know where to place me eventually. So
every once in a while, I just look at those eyes and I just see, it's like I just see suffering. It's like it's sad. It's so sad. But it's like, it's such an interesting story.
Tommy said that before too. Is like you see
sorrow.
You see the child behind it.
Yes,
right? You can see like the child behind that image. Yeah,
look at that.
It is sad.
Kills me, but it's funny.
That happened. I'm safe and doing better. Okay.
Okay.
But I did nothing wrong, and only the certain individuals online, they had wrongfully manipulated and controlled me and my own narrative, but no more. I take control of my own narrative from now on, not you. Not you
Queen.
lot of
Let's
haters
go,
and fakers.
Queen.
Go!
Hell yeah, let's go.
He's like cutting a wrestling
much better
promo.
individual than
I take control of the narrative. You hear that?
Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna take all these toxic ones and yeah.
Next minute, Beverly Hillbillies theme starts playing, and Bob's running down the ramp. Like, listen here, you little shit!
I'm gonna
crack him like Eggman.
From downtown.
Isabella Jenke, I'm gonna break you in half. The next time I see you, brother.
I'm gonna break you worse than I broke Barb.
That's
Pikachu
great.
medallion.
Now, y'all should have known better of me than that. That is enough with the mislabelings and the misconceptions. That's enough. And the whole lot of the sex commentary was me being misled by the suggestion of those individuals, especially those theoretical exes of mine. And I was proven innocent by court of law and released. Simple as...
We can't get the court filings to see if that's are they technically innocent?
No, we don't know yet.
Okay.
This has been my theory from like the very beginning. They don't know what to do. The state of Virginia is like, fuck it. I don't fucking know what to do. It's sat for a really long time. As far as I know, as of today, there aren't any of the documents available. Trust me, everybody will be spamming.
Yeah, I mean, I figured.
Everybody will spam the shit out of me the second those documents.
Oh yeah, when they
available.
find it, they will find it. You will know.
My whole Discord server is gonna light up, and I'm just gonna.
Wouldn't it be crazy? I mean, like, so I to be honest, I think that in all likelihood, like, probably, why not? Like, why not? Why didn't the court just say, okay, innocent, gone? You know?
Well, it just depends on if they had talked to Barb, and there's a lot of factors that come into play. Barb obviously has maybe some cognitive issues.
I've heard that. Yeah.
She's definitely a little confused sometimes, but it doesn't. If she's maybe like in the early stages of dementia, we don't know. But here's the thing: as far as say she consented to it, or say she didn't consent to it, depending on if she gave a statement about anything, how it would be able to hold up in court would be this: she has been signed off by a doctor previously that says her cognitive ability is impaired and she's able to make decisions on her own. That could be a problem, and that could be something that way. Like, okay, that's obviously like it also falls under like elder abuse, like elder dependent adult abuse. That's where it could fall under. But if Barb has never had that before, then there's nothing that says that she can't make her own decisions. So if they interview her and she says no, that never happened, then they don't have a case. What are you gonna do? The victim that is supposedly what you've arrested for, the victim is telling you nothing happened. What the hell do you have?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Hey, I'm sorry. Not to cut you off. We're getting a little bit of like
little robot, bit of laggy robot.
Sorry, was it really bad?
No, it wasn't
that bad.
It was like you could understand each sentence, and it was like I would go to say something, and then it would fix itself. It was doing one of those things.
Oh, I hate it. It does this at this time at night. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
No worries.
That's all right.
It's not horrible. Before we finish, Beavers, are you there?
Hello.
Your opinion on Christian?
A wonderful woman.
Oh, Thank you, Lord. I thought I was gonna have to censor some stuff.
He's a believer.
You fucking simp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I was listening to what you were saying. I said when I watched, I can't remember where I watched this, but I remember thinking the same thing. It's probably what it has to do with is, unfortunately, it's probably just has to do with like prosecutors' time, right?
Yeah.
They know that if they take it to court, that the defense attorney for Chris is just going to turn around and be, well, she's not mentally sound. How can you be 100% sure that this happened?
Yeah.
The DA has to be sure that they have a case before they can actually take it to trial. And Chris sat there in prison for a while before anything.
So Beavers, do you think
was happening? Sorry.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry. Beavers, do you think so? You think that Chris Chan did it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No,
fair enough.
No, because there's also there's like, I don't know, man. There's like weird shit like in his past. Like once he's done it, and you go back and you look back at it, like I believe there's a video that covers him writing a letter about having a dream about being birthed by Barbara, and there's a lot of genital fixation and mother fixation that starts to come out.
I think he was it's not there is definitely some abuse sexually somewhere with him, 100%. Whether it came from Barb or whether it came from the autism school, I definitely think he's been sexually abused somewhere in his life.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a shame.
And then the other thing that I do believe potentially, right, is I don't necessarily think that maybe he didn't want to do anything with Bob, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that the people influencing him at the time may have swayed him, right?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
his moral fiber, like Chris Chan's moral fiber, hangs on a fucking thread.
True.
You can get the man to do anything.
So you're saying like words. So you think he did it? You just don't think that he really wanted to do it. He was more doing it because he was kind of peer pressured.
No, I'm saying that I think no matter how you slice it, he did it. I don't think there's a world where he didn't do it.
All right.
Okay, but if there's a possibility that he didn't, isn't it easier to just believe he didn't for our own sanity?
Kind of with you there.
It's kind of sucks that it could go either way at this point for me. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't do it and got told.
That's the same with me. Like, if it really did happen, it wouldn't be a shock. He was coerced into saying shit. That's plausible. And if he did it, it's probably.
So it is fair to say. So it's fair to say then it's not a shock either way.
Those who will also fuck their mom.
No, we don't have that as a tier. That's not a membership tier. No,
my mom's dead.
Oh man! That just got dark.
Oh no!
Hate when that happens.
I start crying.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And also, just putting this out there, just do not.
Yeah, at least Christian's mom's alive. I mean, come on, guys.
Oh man!
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
On by a thread. Oh my god. I mean, she never felt so alive. Let's be honest. Like,
oh no!
Those of you neurotypical, thinking you're able, whatever, there is at least one thing that is totally disabled about you, period. So do not hate others for things that you are yourself, period.
Let's go.
There is no need to hate on anyone, or even yourself. A flaw is a flaw, a blessing is a blessing, and a flaw can be a blessing in disguise. So you meditate on that. And stop hating.
That's the thing. Okay, that's the clip. If I were doing a trailer for the whole, for the documentary, the biopic or whatever, that's it. That's the clip you take.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So speaking of clips, Dojen, did you see, it was a few years ago now, pre-COVID, Chris Chan tweeted on Twitter a clip of, I think he was a he at the time, himself, naked, on a bed, hunched over.
Yes.
Oh, you know the one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Masturbating, singing All Star?
Yes.
All-Star?
but he deleted it within minutes.
I already knew what you were gonna say, but yeah.
Well, like that's the thing.
I archived it because I'm like, that's gonna go in the documentary one day. Someone's gonna need it.
Yeah. You make sure Gino has it. Like sometimes Gino needs to get things. It might take him a little while, but like
that's the thing is like they got Chris Chan to do that. They got Chris Chan to fart on a cake or sit on a cake.
Yes. Did you the cake farts? Chris did the cake bars beat. You know what I love the most? You know what I love the most?
Yeah, actually, the whole bit. No,
basically had him do like cake farts. Yeah, Clyde Cash. Thank you, Clyde Cash.
They got him to.
He throws up, bro. But this motherfucker Mitch was gonna sit on a cake and fart on it for $500.
No, I was not gonna fart on it. I was not gonna fart on it. All right,
okay,
and I wasn't gonna bring it up.
$500, Mitch. Mitch, it's $500.
Yeah, but shut up. But like, I think that's a pretty good indicator that, like, okay, I can safely say now that I'm not like as disabled as Chris Chan because I didn't do it.
I need a person like Dojangles in my life to convince Mitch to do stupid things because he won't listen to me, but he might listen
it's
to
$500. It's $500. It's easy.
Mitch, you're a whore.
Just do it.
You know what would be a great grift is just convince the internet you're an actual retard and then have them like you but then donate to you.
Wouldn't it be awesome though? What if that was like
I'm gonna be the Isabel Janke to like Mitch right now and just get him to do the most ridiculous shit.
Yeah, because you could be like, I guess I could fart on the cake, but I need $500 to buy my fucking macho man.
No. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if because like I know there's no reality where this is true, but can you imagine a reality where Chris Chan just like gets off camera and just like, hey, those idiots.
They did that. It's so fucking meta. Chris Chan literally tried to do that and be like, yo guys, I'm actually normal, see?
That's amazing.
That did happen. He like was filmed walking around like downtown Reckersville with like sunglasses and like fake
that's awesome.
And he was like, I don't know what y'all were thinking. It's just like I've been normal this whole time, and it was kind of convincing. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, yeah, hold on. I'm gonna send it to you real quick. We won't react to all of it, but you gotta see this.
Okay. You gotta see it. This was like back in Chris's college days.
Oh my god, the city escapes! Stop it! Oh yeah!
Okay.
Alright, we're coming to you live from Quickville today. We're over at the Quickville Pavilion. The Hedgehog Boys and Master Christian Mayor.
Yeah.
They
very timely.
He looks like every Friday night, and
he looks like Smash Mouth guy.
And it draws a crowd. It's very good, you know. It's good to meet some business from amongst the population that comes around.
But like in this scene of him just walking is very convincing that he's just a normal person.
Yeah. Isn't this right before he decided to become a woman? Like he starts wearing
this was probably circa 2008 maybe.
Oh, okay.
2008-ish, so it was a while before.
The project just looks fantastic from here.
Is this what he thinks normal people do?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
I think there's a clip of him actually talking to the camera near the end. If you
there is.
Captain's log, stardate, velour fog, Zap Brannigan. What's the deal with that? I should have face like Leela does.
He's so retarded.
What's the deal with Zap Brannigan from Futurama? What's the deal with that guy? Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. Did not really care much from. I mean, ever since the movie, he's always hanging around with Sam. You know, he's always hanging around with kids. Somebody needs to call Chris Hansen.
Holy shit!
Well, the truth comes out. I've never been autistic. I work 40 hours a week to support my parents. This has all been a trick. You have been trolled.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Chan W. He convinced me.
Oh my gosh.
Back to autism.
All right, now back to the tragedy.
That was, by the way, that was so early on that I like to believe that he didn't have the video editing skills to like put it on like 2 times or whatever. I think he walked that fast.
This is posted in 2009.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like 2000.
Wouldn't he get like trolls to record him? Like the trolls that are like pretending to be his friend and be like, "Yeah, I'll record you, buddy. Here you go." You know, they're just recording.
He did have some of that, but he actually did have like. You got to also remember, like, Bob wasn't the most privy to it, but like his parents would actually like film shit for him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Out and about. That is nice, but Bob probably is regretting all of that now. Looking down from heaven, God rest his soul.
And I am a living, breathing individual, and I am not to be objectified in any way anymore.
Now that you brought that up, right?
Boy. Here we go.
Stop objectifying Chris, now recording podcast. Pig.
Can't help it.
No, but my thing was about what's the dad's name? Bob?
Yeah.
Robert?
Yeah.
Bob
Robert.
Bob
you know, you mentioned heaven, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just got to thinking.
Oh man.
If they go to heaven, I don't want to go there.
Here's the thing. I have to believe he's in heaven because that's where Donovan's at right now. And my theory is I want Donovan, like one of the first things the first thing Donovan did when he get to heaven was found Eric Clapton's son and made fun of him.
Yeah, I made that tweet. I was like, man.
That's numero uno. The second thing is he went looking for Bob Chandler so he can fill him in on what's been going on back at home.
Yeah, I made a tweet saying...
No, I'm good with Bob Chandler going there. I'm talking about the Christians of the world. Right?
You mean autistic
like I don't
people?
want to? Yeah, I don't want to get to the gates of heaven and then I'm just standing in a queue with a bunch of fucking Christians, and that's going to be me
around
for
at the speed of
eternity,
sound. Got places
No, they
to
become
go.
normal when they go to heaven. They're fine now. They're like, oh my god, my life was so insane
Well,
because I did not.
that's even more. That's even more fucked up.
No, yeah, I mean it. Well,
No, because then God has to look them in the eyes and be like, "I trolled you, bro."
Sorry about
Shit
that.
happens.
Yeah.
Genetics are a bitch, ain't it?
Oops.
Anyway.
That whole free will thing.
Well, you know,
that whole free will thing. You had a cousin that fucked another cousin like 3
Well,
generations ago.
You know, God's just like, well, you know, if you didn't want to be autistic, then maybe your fucking 45-year-old father shouldn't have had sex and impregnated a fucking 38-year-old woman. We wouldn't be here.
True.
What, God?
Based
What?
in
What do you
true.
want?
Based in true.
Yeah,
And those who are also autistic are Alpha Russ.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair to say.
Oh my gosh. No, I did want to say last thing about Donovan is I had that tweet where it was like, yeah, I think really on Crip and Eric Clapton's son are having a very awkward conversation right now.
Oh, it's not going to be awkward. Donnie's going to love the shit out of that. They
like,
knew
"How you
each
doing,
other.
buddy?"
They both knew each other's name. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah.
Also, I would like to point out that the medallion has been turned around. I don't know what the relevance of that is.
No, the medallions looked like that for several years. It's got
It
like
looked
that.
like he stuck his dick in it.
It's got like that fucked hole in the head. It's just, it's so filthy. But like what it's made out of, like you really can't clean it. Otherwise, everything will come off of it. So you just keep
And you can't convince him to get a new one because he'll just start hitting himself. Like, Chris, I just put a new one on. No, you know, he starts hitting himself.
Oh,
so
it's gonna break. He's gonna hit it on his head. Yeah.
There's like a significance to it because that's where that's how something about like how Chris and Sonichu can switch bodies and how she can go back.
Oh, is it like one way it's Sonichu and the other way it's Chris Chan?
No, but it has something to do with going back to the other dimension. There's some bullshit about that.
Be right back. I gotta charge this crystal really quick. Yeah.
Bella was the real sex criminal in that. She really wanted to try to get me in something. She's the real criminal. Fucking bitch! Calling her out!
Damn!
Bitch!
Call her out!
It's my favorite fucking clip. Go back.
Calling her out!
Go back. Just get the context.
Fucking bitch!
Criminal in that. She really wanted to try to get me in something. She's the real criminal. Fucking bitch! Calling her out! Calling her out! Isabella Jenkins. She's the real sex criminal. Period.
Damn.
She did a whole bunch of adulteration and manipulation and things in her own words and attitude, insinuations and everything.
Adjectives.
Okay.
At least they weren't pronouns.
There is something that I thought about that, like as far as saying that it was manipulation. I think maybe that was something that maybe his attorneys were going to try to go with.
Yeah.
And they had to start training Chris. You know that they had to train Chris for like a long time. Like, could you imagine? Like,
would you put Chris on the stand? Like,
no, absolutely. You do not put him on the
thing,
stand.
right?
No,
like, I
wouldn't.
wouldn't.
Absolutely not. But there has to be a narrative that Chris can't fuck up. That there has to be this. So they had to like drill it into Chris's head. Like, no, you were manipulated. It didn't happen. You were manipulated. So I thought that was kind of a possibility. Just the way that Chris mentions it. I kind of got a little sus on that one, but anyway.
Okay.
Right.
But to end this on a more positive note, so the girl y'all had seen me with in the past few weeks, I'll tell you a little something about her. She's a friend of mine, and I refer to her only as Flutter, because she likes
Fluttershy.
I'm sorry, I couldn't
Fluttershy.
help it. I was really just thinking for a second before he said the name. What if he says the name and it's Boogie's like girlfriend or something?
Yeah, or Boogie
It's Desi.
You know what I mean? He's amazing.
I've never seen a picture of her where she isn't like facing front on the camera. She's always like down, looking up. Like,
Boogie's girlfriend?
Did you see that fucking documentary trailer? She's like naked
God.
in it.
Yeah, she
Kill
is.
myself. That made okay. Honestly, that trailer made me want to kill myself.
Yeah.
Unironically, and not
Wow.
just because it was depressing as shit. Because like we see Boogie naked like a couple of times. I mean, you don't see his dick or anything, but you see him naked in the bathtub and then in the bed where the girl's like on top of him. Like it's it's what the fuck.
It really didn't make a lot of sense. It was just like the fucking director, like, hey guys, can you like pretend to have sex so I can record it real quick?
It's so cool.
And she's just like, how do I even do this? This is like a waterbed. I don't. Well, it's not out yet. It's a trailer.
On Halloween. It's coming out on Halloween. It's the Boogie documentary that he's involved in, and then he's somebody he hired. I don't know what
I can't remember.
The guy.
I can't remember.
Okay, I'll
sad, shitty motherfucker. I don't know. It's coming out on Halloween. It's coming out on Halloween. Halloween of all days. Halloween.
I took screenshots, so I'm putting them in the group chat.
Mitch just wants that video because he has admitted before that he likes porn where there's a fat man and a skinny woman.
Mitch God! See that? There it is. Yeah.
Why was this filmed?
That's what I said. I want to kill myself.
I'm not gonna lie. This documentary actually, it looks good. Actually, unironically,
I'm gonna watch the fuck out of it, bro.
Yeah,
Me too. I'm not gonna.
Same.
I'm not gonna lie. If you told me that was a child in that bathtub,
oh my god.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm just imagining the same exact thing, but in the alternate universe where again, it's not Boogie. It's Chris Chan.
You know what bothers me? You know what really bothered me when I watched that? I watched the trailer twice. There's this part where they're teasing where he and her are sitting outside, they're cuddling together, and he tells her like, yeah, with everything I could have a heart attack or a stroke anytime and I could die at any time. And she starts bawling. And I thought like, this girl has lived a fucked up life. You can tell that this girl is traumatized.
I feel like Boogie's doing that to her all day long.
He's sitting there going, right? I could die at any time. And I felt so bad for her in that moment because I'm like, he probably does. Yeah, exactly. He does that shit fucking all day long.
No, it's
I'm
Boogie.
Die, you know. Yeah, of course.
He did that on the first date, probably.
Yeah. First DM, probably.
Just,
you know,
just so you know, I might end myself.
Yeah.
Why do these need to be in the documentary?
I don't know. I think the reason that these are in the documentary, the reason they're in the documentary. Boogie had a prostitution problem at one point.
Yeah, he did.
Yes,
he did.
Yeah, he talks about
line
that.
hookers. Yeah, he also talked about like it's gonna be a documentary. He talked about him on our podcast. Talked about how he went and did shrooms with shaman and changed his life. And absolutely batshit, just batshit fuckery. So I can't wait to see it.
All right. Okay, back to this.
Here we go.
She's a friend of mine, and I refer to her only as Flutter because she likes Fluttershy. Okay.
That's not a good name for a girlfriend. I'm sorry.
Yo, what's up,
but
Flutter?
he's a brony. He's a brony.
And listen, Fluttershy is a low tier pony anyway. Like let's all be honest here, all right? Nobody likes Fluttershy. It's all about
D-Max,
rarity.
do
Twilight
tell
Sparkle.
us more. Oh God, knowledge. Let's go.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
D-Max
like,
as a residential
Rainbow Dash.
as a residential
Fuck
brony
yeah.
that you are.
Really? For real? Are you for real,
Yeah.
brony?
Yeah.
Have you been
No,
to
I think-
conventions?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Come on, then you're not a real brony, fake brony.
That's exactly. No, yeah. You get it.
yeah.
What does clapping mean?
I could go into it, but I don't think we
I
can
don't
talk
want to
about
know.
that on YouTube.
No.
Yeah, let's
No.
Spare me.
Just didn't know what it meant. I'm sorry.
It's
Sorry,
definitely it's easiest way I can put it is it's horsing around.
Okay. No. No.
She got in touch with me.
You say nay. Okay.
I was in jail. And we managed to meet. We managed to bond and connect with each other as friends. And she is literally 30 years old despite her physicality.
What?
Get her ass. I don't even by I don't know what he meant. Did he mean that she was younger or older? I still don't know what he meant, but he really did.
That kind of seems like he meant older.
Younger.
Younger,
She
okay.
yeah, if
No,
you see
I've
the
seen
image,
a photo. I've seen a photo.
Yeah.
Definitely younger. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
Chris, you don't know what Chris means though. Like what's gonna look to somebody else is not gonna look the same to Chris. So like if he was trying to roast her, like
True.
she definitely looks older. You know, who knows?
Beavers, is it the loophole?
Why are you asking me that?
You know why. You know why.
It's fucking. It's 4:30 in the morning, bro. I can't be caught in anything right now.
all right,
Any
fine.
words that come out of my mouth cannot be used against me.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Just pretty much straightforward right there, letting you know about that. And I just felt like I just need to say all that, clear the air. There is nothing wrong with being associated with me, period. I am sick and tired of being blocked by anyone, including and especially by those of whom I appreciate. And I do have friends that do have great appreciation of me, which more than I can say than some. I mean, you all, even Megan Schroeder, had your chance to actually be kind and compassionate.
Okay,
and friends with
hold
me.
on a second. I was screaming when we got to this part because he's taking it back to fucking 2002.
Yeah,
He's taking it all the way back to Megan Schroeder. Like, why did you go? Like, Chris, you got to get over that now, man. Like,
Is that the girl in the picture? Is that Megan?
the original girl that he had a crush on, and she was kind of using him a little bit because he would buy her stuff. He would buy her like MLP stuff, and you know, because they used to go to like the game store, and I think they were playing Pokemon together, and that's how they met. And she knew that Chris liked her, so she kind of used that to her advantage a little bit. And he's very, very scorned by Megan. This is like basically really kind of like pre-troll days in a way. Like this is before he started getting heavy trolling. So Megan is just like a way callback. I was screaming. I was like, bro, it's been like 20 years. You got to get over Megan, dude. Like it's over. Yeah, that's Megan.
Yeah. I think.
Wow, look
I
at that
think
medallion. That's
I
the
think
original, I
That's
guess.
the
her,
OG.
Like,
Yeah.
I think they found her at one point, and she's.
They
like,
did. They found her Facebook. She's married, and she's just like, "Leave me the fuck alone, please don't even talk about that." I
Still
don't
part of
wanna
the
do
Kiss
it.
Army. Yeah.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine you take a couple pictures, you interact with this autistic guy, now you're on the internet forever.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
For
Unbelievable.
a longer run.
Kind of looks like
See,
Billy the Fridge, right?
When he
there.
did that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
When he
He
did
did.
that, the little brow furrow to say he's angry, right? I thought back to remember Tommy was like, these guys are just fucking sociopaths or psychopaths.
Yeah.
I was just like, it's so true.
Look at that.
Like he can feel emotion, right? But only for himself. And he has no way to communicate what he feels to the outside world or know what
This-
other people are feeling. It is
This is how he was looking to Barbara.
No.
ah.
Yeah, but I believe Chris is like he bit of a sociopath.
I think, like, yeah, I just think that's how his brain is. I don't think he can, like, even compute empathy at this point.
No, not at all.
Like,
well, he's a narcissist with nothing going for him.
Oh, 100%. Me. Like, we need to pay bills, but buys Transformers. Like, how has Chris not figured out that you can find out, like, your purchase history? Like, hide your fucking purchase history on Amazon and, like, eBay. Like, come on, bro. Stop. It's time to stop.
This is the same guy who would be like, "Hey, Christian, let me get your password. I can help you out real quick." Oh, okay. You know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so
would.
I don't think he'll ever figure it out. Yeah.
That's enough said right there. I just felt like I need to get that off. Otherwise, I might have had a sleepless night.
SSRI is kicking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
So I wanted to ask though, do you think this is the end of the movie, or is this just beginning? Are we at the halfway point?
We are only at the halfway point. Chris has been spam uploading a bunch of stuff. Chris has a lot of lost time to make up for, you know? Like 2 years. As much as Chris doesn't want to be trolled, Chris wants to be like in the spotlight. Like for sure. So definitely wants to make up some, like, look at the shit that they've been uploading the last like couple days. I'm not watching that shit. Like that's like
Angelica Rose Chew Christmas play.
That is a literal
part 2.
like happy for you. Sorry that happened. Are you reading that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Only if there's a controversy. But we're at the halfway point. Definitely.
Yeah. More than likely. I think this is never going to end until he dies, unfortunately.
Yeah,
like,
it's true. Know? It's a Truman show. It is. Real life
really
Truman
is.
show.
Exactly.
The nice thing about Chris, right, is no matter how much he gets trolled and stuff, he's too retarded to ever hurt anybody. I mean, he diddled Barbara, right? He can hurt somebody like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, he's not gonna. Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah, hold on. What does he sound like?
There's this Barbara Chandler.
My name is Barbara Chandler.
It's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Barbara, stop looking at me like that.
Why are you looking at me? Yeah, she looks like one of the things that would pop out at you at like Haunted Mansion in Disney
Barbara,
World.
why do you look like
literally told you she was asking for it. Didn't I tell you?
Yeah.
With those eyes, I guess.
Yes.
Barbara, why do you look like you're utterly terrified, Barbara?
Well,
it's gonna be okay.
you can't say she didn't see it coming. All right, those eyes are wide open.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh.
Poor Barb.
Yeah. I think I saw this clip. I was just looking up Chris Chan. I don't know what the fuck this is, but I'm gonna send it to D-Max because it literally says let me. It says Chris Chan being racist at Indian restaurant.
Oh, okay. So this was when Gamer from Mars was filming his documentary.
Oh, okay.
Art was mortified beyond mortified. And I'm just going to tell you, Mudahar told me that if he was there, he would have laughed so fucking hard. It's not even funny because of just how autistic this clip is. So
let me see this. Holy shit.
It's amazing.
It smells good in here.
I'll ask. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty empty.
Oh boy, okay, now I just feel like I have to do this. First time in here, I feel like I gotta do this. Hello, my name is Apu. I went to
Oh my god.
You don't have to do that.
Art wanted to crawl under a table and die. Like Art was like, I legitimately wanted to fucking die. You're like, no.
You could tell the YouTubers, no.
Now there is a possibility. There is a possibility that Art will make the pilgrimage back to Ruckersville to do an update. Mudahar, if it goes with them, I'm going. So, Christian collab it's happening, boys. If this happens, it's happening.
Oh, bro, if that happens, holy shit!
That is going to be the literal what the fuck is my life moment.
Yeah.
Like everything's gonna
do a body odor check. You need to do a sniff.
I'm not touching Chris, so I may not be able to know exactly what, but I'm not.
So wait. You're fine with like having a medallion that's been touched by Chris, and God knows what kind of ways. And
touching Chris is a different story. That's a different story.
So long as there's 1 degree of separation, I guess it's
easier said than done.
Fair enough.
Are you afraid?
Chris is slightly. I have a feeling that Chris is maybe a little gropey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to take Mudahar with you so you can show her
he doesn't want me to go. He was like, "You're not going," and I was like, "I'll be fucking goddamned if you're going to Virginia without me. I'm going." And he's like, he has to. There's distance that needs to be maintained, like social distancing. Because that was his concern. He was like, like he's no.
I'm just saying, imagine being able to go forward in life saying I was groped by Chris Chan. I'm just saying, like, positive, negative.
Like I said, easier said than done. It's kind of like earlier they were talking about like the Sniper Wolf stuff, and like Vito was on there making some argument that he wanted an argument that literally nobody was making, where it's like, well, I don't care if somebody shows it in my house, and it's like, okay, but you don't know what that situation's like until you're in it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
With Christian, you don't know what that's gonna be like until you're in it, and I may completely check it out. So if that
okay, Christian walks up to you, looks at you, square in the eye, and says, "You're the new Rose Chew." What do you do?
What does that mean? I'm kind of I would be confused. Like, what does that even mean?
I feel like that's a possibility, though. I feel like that's something he might do. I don't know.
Can you make me a Rosa Chew medallion that's my own?
The first one, oh my god!
Can I get something out of it?
The collector's item of all collector's items, right there. If I could
get like something that's custom that Chris only makes one time, then hell amazing. Yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah.
All right. So this is the last clip I have. This is the obvious.
Everyone here, my mother and my father are angry at me. They're blaming at me. It's my fault. I admit it's my fault. I want everything about my house off the internet. I'll send in detectives. I'll send in police. I'll send in everything in my power to get it off the internet.
Listen to me.
Aw, Bob.
Listen to me. Yes. Shut that goddamn thing off.
Aww.
I was literally about to say his fucking dad is like, fucking shut up.
No, you know what? Do you know what the context of this is? Anybody know?
Well, his house is on the internet, right?
Yeah, Chris. The Chandler family, notorious hoarders. Their house is practically unlivable because there's so much stuff, and everything's like a mess. Chris did like a fucking video camera tour and sent it to like a couple of his supposed friends, but they were trolls, and they started posting it everywhere. And when Chris found it, Bob was pissed. Bob was like, "I don't care how you do it, you got to get it down," because he just basically put the whole hoarding situation like public. So
yeah,
Bob was not happy.
Complaining,
yeah.
What you do? You get all that stuff off of there tonight.
I'm working on it.
Go work on it.
I am.
Do you realize something? Let me tell you. If the health department of Greene County sees those videos that you put on the damn internet, they could condemn our house.
It's like, I know my house isn't livable.
I live this way, but I don't want anybody to know it.
That's self-awareness. Like that's self-awareness level like 999. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is a shithole, but it's my shithole.
I've worked hard for this shithole.
I'll protect it with my life.
This is my cow pie.
I'm working on it. I was making a YouTube.
There it is. That's my favorite.
Stuff off of there fast.
I'm working on it.
I'm working on it.
I posted that when Dylan Dennis and fucking Logan Paul were having their press conference, and then he was like, "Have you paid back the crypto zoo yet?" And Logan was like, "I'm working on it." He literally said, "I'm working on it." I was like, "No, he did not just do a Christian."
Make it a YouTube, make it a video for you to tell everybody to get the images off of the internet. It's out my control.
Oh, you get them off.
Out of control.
It's out of my control. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go.
He did it. He didn't know where to go.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, he did.
Go do it.
See, that's the other thing that's so funny, because like every interaction between them, it's like his poor parents. There was never a chance that they were ever going to be able to reel him in, because they don't even probably understand really what the internet is.
No.
Like they,
No.
So it's a really like
Chris
he has
is
no
very-
support system that would be able to help him
very
with that.
poor at navigating it, and the parents don't know how it works. It's like, okay, but you need to fix this. But how do you fix this? I don't know. Just
You
fucking
can't.
fix it. You can't.
Yeah, the worst gift they ever got him was a fucking computer.
I'm sure they think the same thing.
No, the worst gift they ever got him was letting him enter that Sonic the Hedgehog contest when he was a child.
That's how it all began.
That's where it started.
Imagine if he didn't. Imagine a Marvel what if. What if Chris Chan didn't win that competition?
See,
he's just some tax
He'd
accountant.
be a murderer. He'd be a fucking serial killer.
See, I can tell that you're all Americans, right? Because the inner African in me came out there for a second, and I was just thinking to myself, you guys think there's nothing he can do. Oh, there's something he could do.
What is it? Care to elaborate?
I would have fucking beat Chris so hard until he learned his lesson.
Oh my god!
You know,
I ain't even playing around. If he's that age, I'm grabbing a fucking 2x4.
But Beavers, like, how is that going to remove the videos from the internet?
Well, the Africans don't think that far.
No, you don't let it go. You don't let it go that far. There's this thing called the reset button. Nobody ever knows. Like if those little spines come out in a kid, you just got to hit the reset button. Quietly, they disappeared. We have no idea where the fuck they are.
Oops.
Problem solved.
And those with childhood trauma are beavers.
No. That's not a membership period. No.
I am doing it. I'm sorry.
Get in the hair and do it. I'll be up all night with you if I have to. You won't get any sleep till that stuff's on.
I'm working on it.
Get in there and
That one too.
start.
I'm working on it. Let me do these stupid videos. I can tell everybody at my command to help me get everything off the internet about our house.
I don't want to get kicked out of my house by the health department. And what you just did was stick a knife in our back and kill us.
I mean, is hoarding illegal? Like, I don't think it's illegal.
Well,
illegal.
You
They're
can
public
definitely-
safety issue.
Yeah, it's a fire because look what happened.
Yeah,
look
that's
what ended
true.
up happening.
That is true.
They
Yeah.
hoarded so much. They didn't have room in their kitchen that they had a coffee. The fire started because they had a coffee maker in the bathroom in the downstairs bathroom. And
Why
where
would you do that?
Because
There's nowhere else to go.
It was hoarded so much, and where the plug-in was, into where the proximity from where the actual coffee maker was to where it was plugged in was not safe. So the reason why it got so out of control is the firemen couldn't even get in. They're lucky they even got that out. The firemen were having a problem getting in. So with the codes and stuff like that, like even if it's your own personal home, the county can come in and go, well, you know, if say Barb fell upstairs during the fire and they couldn't get to her, she would have died. So that's pretty much like what they're looking at. But
what is it called when they put in a house like that? There's a word for it.
Condemned?
Condemned. There you go.
Yeah.
When the house is condemned.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But the other reason they condemn it is one, you know, like you said, it can catch fire, and then they know it can catch fire. But then also, like you said, the firemen couldn't get in to fight it. I believe another reason why they do it is because of that. Because I think some firemen in the past have died because of hoarded houses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, because like some hoarders go crazy. They go crazy.
At the ceiling, but at this point, like it was really bad where there were things like almost like to the ceiling. And when they did have fires, when they actually did have the fire, it had gotten to like a really like unlivable point.
Yeah.
All right, you don't need to smell him. He stinks.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've convinced me.
Yeah.
All right, let me just
Get that stuff off of there.
I'm
Get it off of there fast.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
This is such a
So
perfect
yeah,
clip.
please get everything off of the internet now, 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 now! Curse the trolls. Peace to everybody else.
I think he wants it off the internet.
Bro, there's sometimes. I wonder if was there ever like a dialogue like he's faking this? He ain't real. He ain't fucking real. This is a
Spoiler
fucking
alert,
bit.
it's still on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, he fucking said so, Matt. He literally told us. He literally said that it was all a bit, all troll, right? That's see?
I've never been autistic. I work 40 hours a week to support my parents. This has all been a trick. You have been trolled.
You've been trolled, Matt. You got trolled.
Those who are also trolled. All right, Mitch. Now, Mitch.
The money?
Yes, the money. I hate you.
yeah,
I hate you so much.
Okay, the people who are bad with money. Hey, I already said my joke earlier. You fucking spent it, all right? Bad with money. Stefan Corbino, Mame, fanfiction narrator, Everborn, Fresh Brewski, Panic Pun, Always Zero, Strictly Patrick, Reynold Hughes, Echo of Tragedy, K-Huck, Joe, aka Mr. Bramey, your name's too long, fucking shorten that, Ghosty, and Jacob Thomas.
And if you want to be bad with money, you just pay $14.99 a month, and we'll say your name after every episode and every stream. Also, we have Beaver Lovers. During priority calls, we pull you in first. That's only $10.99 a month. And also, there is the Stumpies, which is $5.99. Gets you access to the Discord server and the what else does it get at? the membership streams. Yeah, the members only streams. There you go. And those are our membership tiers. Dojangles, thank you so much for coming by. Do you want to plug yourself real quick?
I just podcast Word Sickos. I do that with Charles Kahn almost weekly. It kind of depends.
Yeah,
and
it's actually a really good podcast. I think I hate that it doesn't get as much attention as it did. I listened to the Tommy one, and it's like it's really fucking good.
We're algorithmically fucked, and because we need to doing like shorts and stuff like that. We're just we get buried. We just get absolutely buried in the algorithm. We're just not in there. And then I'm starting to work on like main channel stuff now. But yeah, that's about it.
Nice. Well, is there anything else you wanted to say before we dip out? Or
Queen is innocent.
Okay.
I just want to publicly reiterate that I hate Dojangles.
Fuck you, Mitch.
Fuck you.
Dojangles, thank you for
Get a
coming
room.
on.
Tension.
Did you just kick her?
Yeah, I gotta get... Oh, she's got a guest role. She can come back in. Anyways, now recording is always recording. Have a good one, guys.
Well, that was
done.
fun.
That was
fun.